so-called Negro community has shocked the white man by resisting all efforts to divide us. I think that you and I should continue to shock him by staying and working together in unity, despite religious, political, economic, or educational or social differences.
My people are terrified. We've been terrorized to the point that we're mentally and spiritually paralyzed. We suffered through centuries of dehumanization and degradation. It took the form of slavery and segregation in this land of the free, where oppression's government sanctioned. We're subjected to systemic skin color discrimination, from black codes to Jim Crow to black criminalization. It's been 400 years, it's time for our liberation. We're a nation within a nation, victims of colonization. Where's our revolution and Independence Day celebration? Cause what's the 4th of July to the slave on the plantation? And slavery didn't end, they just changed its implementation. Just check the 13th Amendment, then you'll see why so many black males end up as guilty defendants. The system isn't broken, it's working as it's intended. So I'm not here to fix it, I'm here to end it.
And then again, if we tell you that Negroes are being hung on the tree or being shot down illegally, unjustly, and those Negroes should do something to protect themselves, you say you're advocating violence.
I won't rest till this nightmare we're living in ends, and we see justice for our murdered young innocent men. If black lives really matter, black people need the proof. Cause we are the only ones responsible for our improvement. How can we leave it to someone else to do what's best for us, especially when there's someone else has historically been oppressing us? We can't use a system built to enslave us to free us, and we really sick if we think that they white Jesus can heal us. Our children need us to defend them, teach them and guide them, show them love and bring out the greatness that is deep inside them. Are we gonna build a nation or stay on the plantation? Keep begging for our freedom or fight for our liberation?
When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, he didn't say get nonviolent. He said praise the Lord, but pass the ammunition.
We must be willing to die together or we'll definitely die separately. We desperately need unity if liberation is our destiny. If we don't know our history, then we doomed to repeat it. White supremacy is the enemy, but together we can defeat it. They stole us from the motherland, sold us into slavery, forced us to work for them. They got the nerve to call us lazy. In this caste system, we're outcasts, still treated as second class. But I can feel it in the air, revolutions in the forecast. We came for greatness, but they don't want us to know. So they hid our history to keep us under control. All it takes is to take a stand. The enemy's not invincible, but we must come together as one nation indivisible.
20 million black people don't even know their own language. Why? Because he took it away from them. 20 million black people who don't even know the history of their ancestors. Why? Because he took it away from them. And if you're trying to tell them how thoroughly and completely they've been robbed, he says you're teaching hate. That's something to think about. Today you are coming out of college. You're coming out of the leading university. You're trying to go in a good direction, but you don't know which direction to go in.
last day. It was a father and daughter taking pictures. And they were talking about if it was appropriate.
Ooh, I didn't see that picture, but I just saw it right there. That
you saw? Let me show the picture, babe. Show the picture, hey. Now, that's father and daughter. Now, Chad, that look like about your daughter age. Would you take pictures with your daughter like that?
I'm not kissing my daughter like that.
You ain't kissing your daughter?
I ain't gripping her booty. You say I ain't got a
my
butt
baby
grip.
girl to death.
You say I ain't got her butt grip.
Yeah, that was extra. That's excessive. Now, when your kids get that big to pick them up, you do need a little more support. So I ain't gonna talk about that part. But the kissing on the lips, all that, you know what I'm saying? That's taking it a little far. You know what I'm saying? Like my baby love to come get in the bed with me and everything, but
head around the head for me.
Look, my baby come get in the bed with me and everything, and I keep a king size.
How old
so
is she?
She 14. So she be all on the other side of the bed.
Took too long.
Oh, it took too long. Damn. Put that pussy on.
You missed out on some good meat right there, boy.
Oh, yeah, I bet
You missed out on some good meat.
I believe it.
Shad, don't do that.
What?
I believe
that. That's
I don't think it's anything wrong with
Tell
kissing
that nigga you need a break.
your daughters on the lips.
Appreciate come to Charlotte. I'll let you know. I'm gonna post it. Go ahead, Brandon.
I don't think it's anything wrong with kissing your daughters on the lips.
You don't think it's wrong?
You can't hold his
I mean, like it's got to be like a little quick little peck.
I feel like if my nephew was 14 and kissed me on the lips like that, I wouldn't think anything of it. So
I've been
Niche,
kissing my daughter my whole life.
How old is Cam? How old is Cam?
Cam is 14.
Can Cam kiss you on the mouth?
He can, but we do kiss cheek. We do cheek kisses.
And why is that?
That's just what we always do.
Always since he's been a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
No, that's just what we do in my family. But if we could do a peck, did I used to kiss my daddy on the lips? No, I kissed my daddy on the cheek too. So I guess that's just how I was raised. And I definitely ain't holding my daddy head back in the back of his neck.
Boy, yeah, because that.
You about to slip the tongue in. And I know it's a picture too, so this is a still shot. So it could have been a peck. But that hand behind the head just make it seem like it's so much more than just a peck.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you like this, man.
I feel like if you read into it, then it is more what it is. But I also don't think it's anything wrong with a father loving his daughter. And if that's how
but
all I'm saying is if they do it differently from you, that's okay.
Somebody said that's legal in Arkansas.
Don't do that. Don't do that, y'all.
I'm going to tell you like this. If I didn't know the relationship,
you absolutely right to wrong, Graves.
If I didn't know the relationship between them two beforehand, and I looked at this picture, I would automatically assume this nigga was a pedophile.
I wouldn't think that.
If I didn't know this was his daughter, I'd be like, oh, this nigga wild as hell. He just gonna post with that little girl like that. I know she ain't of age. That's the automatically thing I would assume. So when we assuming that would show that this image looks romantic.
But I think that's just based on your past experiences. If I had a husband and he kissed our 14-year-old daughter in the mouth, I wouldn't feel any
It's
type
not
of
the
way.
kiss in the mouth. It's really this pose.
Nisha's
So
stuck on the
for
cam
Chad, it's the
behind
kiss
the
in the
Yeah,
mouth.
that's what's
You
fucking the
was
picture
opposed.
up. Because it was just they're kissing. If it was just a regular kiss, but this is a romantic image.
Because it's like the lips.
It's like we
Man,
doing
just put a
something.
real woman right
Yeah,
there, and
it's,
it looks like an
The second one
anniversary
is not
pic.
that bad. I mean, of course he got a hold. That's a big ass kid, so he got to hold her under. He can't pick up no other way. But so the second one is not as bad for me.
Why DJ? What you doing? You kissing
Okay.
your 14-year-old in the mouth?
So if I'm hugging my kid, come on, Justin, I'm gonna show you. No, I'm Brandon. Let me.
My weed.
Why you
No, you gonna hold it by her back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be the upper area.
Oh, put this picture up. Look at Chad. Okay, that's very.
So first, let me go ahead and let you all know, yes, I know the image that you're looking at is very disturbing. As you just heard that clip, I got to give a shout out to Brother Marcus of the Mainstream crew. You know, him is his cousin Chad, and his mother, Miss Jonay, very classy black lady. I mean, in that episode, in fact, I'm going to put a link to that very episode in the description box so that you all can check out where this clip came from. But what I got to talk about and go in on, and go ahead and prepare yourselves, because I got to go ahead and get on this as only I can. The subject was brought up about this picture. Okay, this is supposed to be this little girl's father. Now, there is no fucking reason for this to take place. There's nothing wrong with loving your children, but you don't have your little girl kissing you in the mouth, especially with her hand behind his head. See, all you have to do is remove, because it's going to get worse. I got to show y'all the rest of this. All you have to do is remove the little girl out of the picture and put a grown woman there. You do not interact with your children like you do with adults when it comes to these types of things as far as showing affection. There's no excuse for that. Now, were this a little infant or what have you, okay, you could get away with giving your child. It's better and healthier to give them a peck on the cheek, because your mouth is not very sanitary, even if you cleaning it with toothpaste, whatever. But for this, see, this looks like some pedophile shit to me. And any dumbass sitting up here co-signing it, this is the trash in our community, family. This is the trash in our community, because see, let me show you the next picture. If you thought this was bad, just wait till you see this. Now look at this. I want y'all to take a good look at this image before I even say what I'm about to say. Just take a look at it. Take a good look at it. This is supposed to be this child's father. And this would be inappropriate if it was a mother. So I don't want to hear nobody saying that I would have the same smoke. But if you look at this, you can pick her up around her upper body. You don't put your hands on your daughter's ass. Again, take the little girl out the picture and put a grown woman in the picture. You don't interact with your daughter this way. See, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Any Negro that you dealing with that do some shit like this, you better be suspecting this motherfucker pedophile behavior. No normal black man in their right mind would do this. And I got to give a shout out to the callers in that episode, because most of the men were on point, except for one simp that called in. Because if you see how one of the comedians up there, I ain't going to even start on her. One of them start trying to normalize this shit. Let me tell y'all something, family. Unfortunately, in our community, we have a lot of child molestation going on. And what ends up happening is sometimes when a person survives that and goes through it, they begin to normalize that kind of behavior. Because see, no woman that wasn't touched on or molested or whatever would look at this and think this is normal for a father and a daughter. It's not. You don't interact with your daughter like this. You don't interact with your children like this. This is unacceptable. And the simp caller that called in, a dude, see, I'm going to tell y'all something I can't stand, family. I cannot stand a simp ass dude that would go along with whatever a woman says just because he think he attractive. Let me tell you something. You can't build no nation like that. You can't. One of the main responsibilities of men with standards and integrity is to tell our women when they're wrong. I don't give a damn how much they don't like it. I don't give a damn how unpopular it makes you. Men with standards are the protection of a nation. Do you understand me? We ain't got no business co-signing nothing like this. Again, shouts out to the other callers that called into this show, because like I said, it's going to be a link in the description box so you can check it out if you want to see it. Shout out to those brothers and sisters, because there was some sisters that called in that was against it too. But see, this bullshit right here, you think about this now. Would you trust a Negro that would do this to his own daughter around your children? I'm going to ask that question again. Would you trust a Negro that does this to his own daughter around your children? This is not normal. This is not normal. I'm not done yet, because we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. I want you to brace yourself for what you're about to see next. This is old. A lot of you may remember this, but I got some thoughts on this. And I had to put this in here and go ahead and speak on this. It's been a minute since I gave my personal thoughts on anything, but I couldn't let this one slide. I couldn't let this one slide. Take a look at what I'm about to show you next. Remember this? The sister in the picture, and I did a little creative editing here. Her name is Just Hilarious. It's a comedian. That is her son. I don't know who the other alabastress is over here with her child, but I'm gonna read something to you. And this is from somebody was on her PR team at the time this photo came out. Now, this is what her people are saying. I bet they won't say the white lady's pic is ratchet. I bet her pic won't go viral for all the wrong reasons. This is what I don't fucking like when it comes to anything that black women do. We are always put into this ratchet category. We are always put down for things that women of other ethnicities get praised for. And it's mainly black people doing the bashing and stereotyping. Majority of y'all are ignorant, self-hating fools. Then it's black men who will laugh at another grown ass black man in a wig, but got the nerves to say she's turning her son gay. Family, let me go ahead and break this down for you. As a black man, as black men, we don't give a damn what other women do. They are not our responsibility. They are not the mothers of our children. They are not the first teachers of our children. I don't give two fucks what the white community does with their children. That is not my problem. That is not my problem. So when you start seeing this juvenile comparison behavior, the white women do it too. Y'all ain't saying that the white women are not our fucking responsibility. I get so sick of that. Brothers, y'all gonna have to start standing y'all square with this kind of shit, man. And see, the whole thing that kills me is the juvenile mindset of talking about bashing and stereotyping. You look at this picture over here. It's wrong for both of them to do this. There's no reason for you to be sitting naked with your damn children when they get this damn big. What possible reason do you do that? Huh? This shit is sick, man. We can't sit up here and co-sign any kind of behavior like this. This is degenerate behavior. It's the same thing as when you saw Tiara Mack up there twerking around up there and supposed to be a damn sitting U.S. senator. See, this culture of degeneracy, this got to stop. This lost cause mindset in black society is something that we must be on fervent guard against. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. If we got rid of white supremacy tomorrow, we will have to start working internally on our own community and cleaning the trash out of it like this. Think about it, right? I want y'all to bear with me. Imagine if we did reconstruct several functional black Wall Streets, okay? We gotten white supremacy either eradicated or mitigated to the point that it can no longer keep a stranglehold on us as far as what we try to do without any type of sabotage. Do you really think that we could have degenerates like this, the bastard that I just showed you with his damn daughter and this piece of shit right here? Do you really think we could keep these kinds of people in our community and it still be successful and productive? See, the ultimate goal for black society, as far as our empowerment and the protection of our people, should be to make sure that we clean up the bad elements and stay as far away from them as possible. You cannot have a healthy body with cancer inside of it. These types of people are cancerous. And this damn mindset, this don't judge nobody. Let me tell you something. You make judgments when you get out of bed in the morning. You decide to put fucking clothes on before you go outside the house. Well, most of us. Because see, the people that don't, the ones that'll go outside in their fucking pajamas, bonnets, and all kinds of goofy shit like that, that's not who we supposed to be as a people. Today, American society, when it comes to black people, has cultivated everything negative and destructive towards our people. That's what they've done. They invest so much money in destroying our culture and our minds. They start the degeneracy early through entertainment. See, that's one reason why if you're a black parent, you better be very mindful of what your children are engaging in and watching on the internet or what have you. You can't be with them 24/7. But the standard setting starts at home, because for all of us, especially for those of us blessed to have had two parents in the household to teach us, When they instill the values in you and you go out into the world, you're going to be tempted by things. But if they did their job right, even if you start engaging stuff, you're going to snap back to those values. It's going to come back to mind. It might prevent you from even doing the behavior. But see, if there's no values taught from the beginning, what hope is there for a child? Because see, you send a child out into this world with no type of value system or structure, it's going to mold them into all types of things. And none of them are going to be positive. So my greater concern is for our women that have this juvenile mindset where they want to co-sign anything, and for the weak ass goofy dudes that'll be sitting there lying to them just because they consider them attractive. That's the ruin of our community. We can't tolerate that, family. There's no excuse for this. See, I want you to see something. Let me go ahead and just show you this picture over here. Look at this. How you going to defend this in any kind of way? And again, let me reiterate, just in case anybody just came into this broadcast, I don't give a damn what other races of women do. I'm critical of our women because I expect better of you. You represent half of our race. You represent the first teachers of the future of our race, our children. And when you start to see them doing shit like this, you have to ask the question, what the fuck is wrong with you? What happened to you? This isn't who our women are supposed to be today. She calls herself a comedian, and she is a big fucking joke because, see, wherever this child's father is, oh, I got to get on him. See, brothers, let me tell you something. You better start really considering very carefully who you procreate with. And see, this is where I have to get on the brothers at. We've all heard this saying, oh, but you got a fat head, though. Negro, if you judge the quality of your woman by just how she look alone, you don't impregnate everything. Everything is a worthy of your seed, man. As men, we have to start being very mindful and more protective of our seed. You don't impregnate everything. Everything out here is a motherhood material. Everything out here ain't wife material. Vice versa, ladies, when it comes to the men. Everything out here ain't fatherhood material. Everything out here ain't husband material. See, I call it down the middle. I'm focusing more on this because that clip that I saw in that broadcast, if y'all see the entire broadcast, I'm going to say something. Again, I got to give a big shout out to Marcus's mother, Miss Jonay. When y'all watch that broadcast in the description and it get to a certain point, it's going to be a section where it's just the two female comedians up there. All I'm going to say is you got to see that for yourself. And Marcus's mother had the sense enough to cut that short because, you know, that young brother, he's on the rise. He's very talented. And, you know, like she told him, she like, this ain't that. We don't do that over here. Sisters, listen to me. You have to understand something. The way you are being treated out here in society has a direct correlation to your image. A lot of y'all love to quote Malcolm and say that the black woman is the least protected and the least respected, so on and so forth. Well, let me ask you a question. How are you going to simultaneously say that, but you won't listen to anything that your primary protectors, black men, because you ain't going to get no protection from no other group of men. How is it that you not going to listen to your primary protectors when we try to correct you on your bad behavior? Moreover than that, this is a team effort. Ladies, listen to me. You cannot keep being quiet about things like this. You can't just do a little passive criticism. You got to draw a strong line of demarcation between you and these bitches. Just like we as men have to draw a strong line of demarcation between us and this punk ass dude that's sitting over here grabbing on his little girl and got her kissing him in the mouth. See, I'm from Georgia. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm not going to make it out to be like this is some paragon of virtue, but I will tell you this. Southern family values are still intact to a greater degree down here. A dude like that can't come around us, man. We don't play that pedophile shit in no way, shape, form, or fashion. You can't be some old ass nigga walking around with some little teenage girl down here and you damn sure better not let us find out you done did something to a young underage kid. Oh man, you get that work on site down here. Anybody, look, I'm finna call out some area codes. Let me tell y'all something. If you from Georgia, everybody have heard of Atlanta, 404-678-770. But let me tell you something. When you get down here towards area codes that are 912-229-478, y'all already know what I'm talking about. We don't play the radio when it comes to that pedophile bullshit down here. Ain't nothing cool about that. Ain't nothing cool about that. And see, looking at this picture right here, I want you to understand something. Ladies, in case you think I'm being overly critical on this part, because I ain't done with that dude yet. I'm going to flip back over there in a minute. But when you do this type of shit with your son, you know what you already doing? See, this is the part that a lot of people don't go into detail about. What you're doing is you're erasing the boundaries that he's supposed to have for women when he goes outside. See, think about it. She got him sitting up in her lap while she naked. Don't you know that a child's training starts at home? So when he goes to school, he ain't gonna see nothing wrong with touching on little girls. As he gets older, that's gonna be normalized behavior. So you know what you're setting your little black son up for? Easily setting him up to catch a case for sexual assault, because in his mind, he thinks that's normal. His mother did stuff like that with him. Okay. Do you understand now why that's so important that you don't do shit like this? You shouldn't have to be told this, because a mother doesn't even think about doing this. And then you're going to put the shit on the internet? Ladies, y'all better separate from shit like this. This motherfucker should be shunned everywhere that there is a black mother. Bitch, you are excommunicated from the club. That should be the proper mindset. So let me flip on back over here to little buddy. Take a look at this, right? The same connection that I just gave you over there dealing with her. Let me flip it around and show you what's going to happen with this little girl. When you start doing stuff like this with your daughter, because you shouldn't have to be told not to do this. Again, when you start doing stuff like this with your daughter, you setting her up not to value boundaries either. You setting her up to let any and everybody touch her any and every kind of way. Now, a lot of y'all might say, GBS, you reaching on this, man. I don't see how you can go there with it. Okay, I'll tell you what. Look at this picture right here. Look at this picture right here. Now, for any father that loves your daughter, if you caught your daughter at this age with some old ass Negro, or even another little boy her age, doing this to her, how would you respond? See, the father's gonna feel me in here. Now, I don't have kids, but I know right from wrong. You don't do this kind of shit. So now, to further my point here about it leading her down the wrong path, she will be comfortable with older men touching her this way because my daddy do it. See, keep in mind, this is a child. These are children. Their minds are still developing. You're supposed to be instilling some type of value system into them. You're supposed to be instilling right from wrong into them. You're supposed to be instilling a sense of boundaries and protection into them. If the parents fail at home, the children are vulnerable to the world outside. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from with this? Family, we gonna have to make some separations and some changes. We fighting a battle on two fronts. We fighting against white supremacy the best we can daily, and we fighting internally against trash like this in our community. This is a lost cause mindset right here amongst the parents. It's not fair to fail the children before they even get a chance to have a chance in the world. Our children are targeted before they exit the womb. So for those that do make it into this world of the living, tell me, don't you think that you owe them your life? Don't you think that you owe them everything that you can give them to protect them and guide them and give them a chance to have the best future possible when they have been targeted with hatred before they left the womb by members not in our own community? You can't do no better than this. Give your children up for adoption somewhere. Yeah, I said it. Let somebody in the family take them. Cause see, this some shit right here in either photo with this punk ass dude right here and that bitch. Yeah, I called her that. I don't have no respect for people like that in our community. If the family saw that kind of stuff, they should have been trying to get them children away from them. That's not normal, man. You got a school system today pushing all types of sexual degeneracy and deviancy onto these children. So in order for them to resist that, because you shouldn't have your black kids in public school if you're able to get them out. If you can't send them to a black school, homeschool, that's the best thing at this point. But if they don't have a chance or a sense of resistance to perverted, degenerate behavior taught to them at home, what chance do they have to resist that in these schools? Because these schools, the public food system, because they've lost their damn minds, they are crossing all kinds of boundaries. Y'all seen it. Courses talking about teaching children how to masturbate and all this shit. And you know it's designed to affect one group of children, and primarily it's going to hurt us, our children, the worst. Think about it, family. What's going to happen? You got your children in these public school systems and they start introducing courses to like that. And then they start demonstrating by touching on your kids, huh? Yeah, that look like that's where it's going. And then you got this type of degeneracy at home. Family, I'm gonna close it right here. I had to spring this on y'all real quick, man, because like this kind of bullshit right here, man. Again, I got to shout out Marcus and the crew that was up there on the mainstream for taking a stance against this, because like I said, man, this can't be tolerated, man. We got to get these predatory mindset individuals like this the fuck out of our community. They got to go. They shouldn't have no place amongst us. That's it. I'm gonna wrap it right there. Close it out. Black first. See you all in future content.
Over the last year or so, the US police have come under intense criticism, especially over the ongoing racist treatment of black people. The problem, however, is not recent and did not begin with the murder of George Floyd, nor did it begin with any of the other high-profile police killings. Police brutalizing black people did not start in the 1950s, 60s, or even before that. To understand the core of racist policing, we have to go way back in history to a time before there was even any such country as the United States. When the first Europeans landed in the US and the first Dutch slave traders arrived in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619, the brutalization of black people began. The promise of the so-called New World was not forged by fortune and adventure, but was written in the blood, sweat and tears of African slaves. Black people who built America as we know it were treated as property and needed to be controlled. With this in mind, the first slave patrols were soon formed, and it would be these slave patrols which would eventually morph into modern police forces as we know them. Slave patrols carried badges very similar to police badges used today, and the job of these patrols was to catch runaway slaves and return them to captivity. Slave patrols were also known for catching free black people and sending them back to slavery. The system would gradually change and modify over time, but the essential origin of US policing remains the same, with deadly modern consequences. Black people remain violently treated by the state by officers in uniforms from slave patrols to the modern day, despite some arguing that huge progress has been made. And nowadays US police, which disproportionately brutalizes black people, also paves the way for the private prison system, which itself is another form of slavery. There is little doubt that the racist legacy of slave patrols has left a dark shadow over modern policing to the point it may be beyond reform. Policing in the United States needs a serious radical overhaul, but for that to happen, its history rooted in slave patrols and the modern role played as part of a deeply corrupt anti-black criminal justice system must be accounted for.
Celebrate the foundational Black American culture of freedom fighting and resistance with the first annual Aretha 5K run. This cultural experience will honor our FBA ancestors and icons while harnessing energy from our past to power our future. There will be security at this event to ensure everyone has a safe and enjoyable experience. Aretha Run is a cultural event for family and friends. Strollers and wheelchairs are welcome. The in-person event will include a free 1-mile fun walk and will be held on December 17th in Tampa, Florida. Unable to make the live event, you can also participate virtually anywhere from December 17th to December 30th. All registered participants will receive the official Aretha Run finisher medal, t-shirt, and more with the ability to upload their race time to the official site. Live event participants will receive the time race scores, professional finisher photo, video, and your name will be announced as you're welcomed across the finish line. Enjoy the post-race after party and refuel with a traditional FBA breakfast. You can also help us settle fun family debates like sugar or salt and grits. Prepare with family workouts and runs and post on social media using the hashtag ArethaRun. For registered info and sponsorship opportunities, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Click the link in the bio. Hope to see you all there.